Keontae Marone here. You might be wondering, why are you wearing your hat like that? Look, this was cool back in like 2016, 2017. All the dudes posted up in their photos had their hat like this, and depending on how I feel during this video, it might change. Um, I've been sitting on this video for like 3 weeks now, ever since the Sony FX2 released. So I just wanted to do a little talking piece. I don't think there's gonna be B-roll. As you can see, this is a new family member. This is Gizmo. Yeah, he's staying with me. The only reason I'm making this video is because I want to talk about this whole consumerism aspect of filmmaking. I mean, we all know that as filmmakers, and I went through this when I first started a few years ago. When new cameras come out, you feel like the marketing is just very rampant and very at you. Your favorite influencers, YouTubers, filmmakers are receiving the cameras, working with the cameras because sponsors. Of course, one day Sony will do that for me. But the big difference for me personally is the people who are not Sony, but the people who are the consumers. Why do you truly need this? This isn't just for the Sony FX2. This is also for like the Black Magic Pixis. I think Panasonic. I don't think Panasonic dropped something recently. I could be wrong, but pretty much this concept of when a camera comes out, do you really need to buy it? So I'm not yapping this entire time. I do have a few points on my phone I will be referring to. The first question is, are you buying it for the hype? Now look, when I got this camera, the FX30, this is my baby. I don't plan on getting rid of this camera anytime soon. But for me personally, I'm also the type to kind of go against the hype in the beginning because I like to be so cool and pretentious. But when I had found news about the FX30, that was around the time I was looking to upgrade my Panasonic G85 and upgrade to a better camera. Knowing that a better camera would push me, my want for the FX30 or just a new camera at that time, because I was looking at the Zcam E2 or E4, the Zcam E6. Well, 6 is a little crazy, but the E4 just to see if I'm gonna like it. But then there were so many things like lenses and battery things. So, think about the ergonomics and how much I was willing to put into it. I personally just wanted a quick run and gun camera because that's the type of filmmaker. Well, at the time I didn't think about it, but that's where I realized I just wanted to be on the go. In the case of the FX30, I already knew that when buying this camera, well, credit card purchase buying the camera, shout out to B&H, I knew that I was going to need some oomph and some push, but I couldn't go over a budget, which was the credit line. So yeah, I did get the top handle for this. Body itself 1700 or probably 1800 at the time, but I already knew my goals with buying the camera. And around October-ish when I knew I wanted to upgrade my camera, FX30 was just announced, not out of nowhere, but that's when I first got introduced. Before that, I was trying to keep it Panasonic. Like I said, I had a Panasonic G85, and at the time there was the S1H or the SH. I think it was S1H, and there was another version, but they didn't really have a Cine line. They had the box body. I think that's the BH1, BGH1. It's a really complicated name, and there were so many add-ons. The BG1. I'm just gonna call it BG1 or BH1. That one was pretty much because I wanted the Zcam too. Those are like the dang near same build, but it took a lot to get that build. Like I said, I wanted to run and gun. So when Sony announced the FX30, this is why I think having intentions is very important. The FX30 I knew I couldn't afford. It was above my credit line, but I knew it was so much bang for that buck. So with that being said, I knew that the FX30 was going to be the little brother of the FX3. That is the only reason, besides me wanting a new camera, that it makes sense for me to get the FX30. It's going to have the similar body, same build, different sensor, and of course, other different technical things. But I already knew that I can get a good package from the FX30 from the FX3. And what really also confirmed me wanting the FX30 being the little brother of the FX3 is Danny Gevirtz, one of my favorite filmmakers, favorite YouTubers, favorite human beings. He's amazing in person. Met him a few times, and always, Danny, love you. His videos were always made and looked amazing with the FX3, and it looked so easy with the videos where he did the bicycling video, the baseball video. All his videos, besides him being an amazing cinematographer, all looked great and were very shot very nimble, very light on the FX3. So knowing that I can get a FX30, which is the little brother of that, then I mean, I still have to learn cinematography, but I'm like, I'm a step closer to being at that level or getting that look that Danny easily achieves. FX2 just personally feels for me, and this is fully opinionated, it just feels like it just doesn't, it knows what it wants, and its consumers are very niche. A photographer slash somebody that wants to do video, but as a videographer, I don't want to look through that small viewfinder and see what I'm filming. I would just throw a monitor on like I do have here. I wouldn't want to look through that unless it's strictly photography. I honestly feel like the FX2 is very niche down, that for somebody coming in that's new, and that's going to take me to my next question. What is your experience? What are you in your career? If you're a beginner, when I first started, like I said in the whole yap in the beginning, that was only because I wanted to upgrade. I was new and I wanted to get work done. I wanted to go ahead and just crank stuff out and get stuff made. So when you hear about the FX2, just like when the FX30 came out, you're going to be wondering if I should buy this camera. Let me weigh my options out. And as a beginner, you shouldn't even think about that. Now, like I said, this camera came up perfect timing, but outside of that, you should be out making stuff already. I'm not going to sit back and tell you go get your iPhone. I love filmmakers who say that, but it's way more complex. You need add-on lenses. I don't want to go into a rant about that. But my main point is you should be working on the basics, period. And real fast, I should throw this in there. For the beginners, rent stuff out, rent out equipment. I should have emphasized this in the beginning. You need to be renting the camera out first, at least. Before you go ahead and make a big purchase, test the camera out. I had somebody I talked to recently, earlier this week in my men's group. They asked me, because they were curious about, filmmaking, what camera should they use? And I was just big on what do you need it for? What do you need it for? And he just wanted to test the waters. And that's why I was saying, if you want to test it out, rent it or use your friend's cameras. Use a camera that you kind of want to look and try to use yourself. Go rent it out, go try it for yourself, compared to going ahead and making few $1,000 purchase versus renting it out for ShareGrid. I love ShareGrid. You can rent a camera out for like $50 a day, $100 a day, covering with insurance and stuff like that, near $100 something versus making a full-on multi-$1,000 purchase. I don't know why $1,000 sound like $1 million when I said that, but you're new. You don't know much about that. Typically, you can get informed. It should be, but you should just be making stuff. Don't overthink it. You're a beginner. Go make things. If you're intermediate or even expert, a FX2 at that point would just be more of maybe a B cam or something you take on a go. But that kind of goes back to the FX3 or the FX30. You can take both of those because all the body cameras or the body frames are the same. You can just get a FX30 and call it a day. The price for the body alone for the FX2 is $2,698. Now, of course, you have add-ons like lenses, and there's not even a handle for this. Compared to the Sony FX30, it is now at $1,598. I wish it was like that when I first started. I mean, $200 isn't much, but when you think about in the beginning, especially when I had the top handle, which makes it, with the top handle, $1,998. If you just want the body alone, $1,500, solid as is. And the reason why I'm bringing up finances, especially for those like I'm talking about right now, intermediate and expert, I don't really have to say much to you guys. You guys know why you need it. More than likely, you're probably one of the people that is selected for that niche section of why the camera is made. But more than likely, you're an intermediate expert. You're not really going to use this camera as a primary. You're maybe going to use it as a, I don't want to even say a vlog camera, maybe photography, but it's not your designated thing because intermediate expert is usually going for cinebodies like a FX6, FX9, maybe a Burano, and if you really got bucks, Sony Venice. I just truly think that when looking for camera options, weighing them out depends on your, not expertise, but what do you need? Why do you need this camera? Why do you need the FX2? Why do you need the Blackmagic Pixis? If you are a video production company, yes, I can see why you might need to upgrade. FX2, questionable. Just like I said, I feel like most of the time when we get all this camera stuff thrown out at us, it is just strictly consumerism. And no, I don't want to sound like some, well, woke actually is supposed to be a whole nother term. It's used differently now. But I don't want to seem like a pretentious person saying we're consumers and we're buying all these cameras and blah, blah, blah. There's, truth to that. But when it comes to why we're being pushed these certain cameras on a release, it's just them doing their job, marketing. The more you push out, the more you get big creators pushing out that camera, the more eyes will be on it and the more buys you'll get out of it. In regards to FX2, me personally, it's a little swat away. And that's coming from someone who loves Sony cameras. I love Sony. I just got into the game. I am not a technical guy. I just love filmmaking. I love cameras and I love what they're capable of and how you could push them. And obviously for the FX3 with the creator that came out, I believe a year ago, maybe some change ago, to see that get made despite the budget being put predominantly on VFX rather than the actual cameras, obviously, that was cool to see, to know that if I really wanted to make a feature film, even though I don't have the FX3, if I wanted to rent one out, then I could do that. I'm going to end the video here. My main question to you is, do you need the camera or do you want the camera? When I had the G85 a couple years ago, I actually feel like I needed the camera. I knew that if I sat back and tried to save, it would be mission impossible and it would push me and I wouldn't push myself. So that was to take me to another level. I took the risk and it's paying off. If you're talking about, I already have a camera, it works, gets the job done. Do I need to buy a new camera? Weigh out options, compare the camera that you have now. If you want to compare specs, you're a tech person, technical person, fine. But don't get it just because Sony and everybody's pushing it. Blackmagic is pushing it. Canon is pushing it. Now I need to get the C80. Think about what you are using it for. Will it help you? Will it gain you more clients if you do this for work? Or will this help push you to do better and make better work? Then you should do it. Or, like I was saying, rent it out. I don't know if anybody's renting an FX2 out. Go ahead, I joined a Facebook group. I don't even use Facebook. So I'm ageist. It's for old people. I know I'm going to be the old person one day. But I joined a group for all Sony lines just to see what other people are working on and get inspiration from. So if you want inspiration from a camera, go for it. But weigh out your options. Don't impulsively buy just because everybody's saying to buy that camera. I'm just going to stop talking. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you gained something out of this outside of bad consumerism. No, let me be serious. I hope you gained some thoughts and you're able to think about and reflect on if you want to buy a new camera. Should you buy a new camera? This is not a shot at Sony. Sony, I love you, okay? This camera, I'm in love with this camera. If I could marry the camera, I probably really would. But this is just to make you think, why? Get your intentions right. And I'm very intentional about my life. So why do you need the camera? Why do you want the camera or need it, like I said before? So not a knock to Sony or Blackmagic, no one else in specific or in particular. Do you need it or not? As simple as that, and you more than likely don't fall for the hype. I love you all. Have a blessed one. Take care and peace.